Beit Jin lies just kilometers from one of the Middle East's most volatile fault lines. In recent weeks, this village has seen repeated clashes between residents and Israeli forces as Israel expands its military presence deeper into southern Syria. What's happening here now is reverberating far beyond this hillside, all the way to Paris. For decades, the Syria-Israeli frontier was governed not by peace, but by separation. After the 1973 Arab-Israeli War, the two sides signed the 1974 Disengagement Agreement, brokered by the United States. It froze front lines on the Golan Heights, created a UN-monitored buffer zone, and limited military forces on both sides. The deal never brought reconciliation, but it did prevent direct confrontation for half a century. That restraint is now fraying. Since the fall of Bashar al-Assad in late 2024, Israel has moved into areas designated as demilitarized under the agreement, including parts of the UN buffer zone and strategic ground near Mount Hermon. Damascus calls these moves a clear violation of the accord. Here in Beit Jin, residents say Israeli incursions are no longer rare, but frequent, aggressive, and increasingly close to civilian homes. For decades, this area lived under a tense but predictable status quo. Now that balance is breaking down. Israel says it's securing its borders while expanding control over Syrian land. Syria says its sovereignty is being violated and the rules of the 1974 agreement are being dismantled on the ground. That breakdown is now the focus of talks in Paris, entering a second and final day. This is the fifth round of Syrian-Israeli negotiations under the U.S. sponsorship led by President Donald Trump's Syria envoy, Tom Barak. Syria is represented by Foreign Minister Asad al-Shaybani and Intelligence Chief. Israel's delegation includes close allies of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alongside senior military and security figures. For Washington, the priority is containment, preventing another front, limiting Iranian influence, and avoiding regional spillover. For Israel, it's about more land, patronage of minorities, and long-term leverage. For Syria, it's about preserving status quo, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. Here, diplomacy feels distant, but the outcome of these talks may determine whether this border returns to uneasy restraint or slips into a far more dangerous phase. Resu Serdar, Al Jazeera, Beit Jin, southern Syria.
Alon Leon is a former Israeli ambassador who served as the Director General of Israel's Foreign Ministry. He explains what Israel wants.
The word peace is not, in fact, in the Israeli Hebrew dictionary anymore. I think, especially after the 7th of October, nobody here speaks on peace, not with the Palestinians and not with the Syrians, and I think not even with the Lebanese. There is a kind of a collapse in the belief of many Israelis that peace is at all possible. So I don't think anyone is speaking about peace between Israel and Syria. And I think the talks in Paris are only on technical military things to avoid the situation that we are clashing with the Ashara forces and that we are clashing with Turkish forces and so on. I have the feeling that if Israel will feel that Ashara is in full control and Syria is going to be a normal country again, there will be withdrawal to the Golan Heights border, to the border of before Assad's collapse. And I think Israel is mostly seeking additional international recognition to its presence in the Golan Heights on top of the Trump recognition. So I think this is, at least as I understand, the traditional position of Israel.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.